Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the City Surrey Showcase, sponsored by the City of Surrey. Today I am joined in the Fusion Presents studio by a very special guest. We are with Quinn Pickering. Quinn, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm really looking forward to diving into this conversation with you. So first things first, what we usually like to do with our guests is we like to take it back to the beginning. So can you tell us a little bit about how your musical journey began and bring it all the way up until now?
Yeah, it was kind of weird actually. My dad moved here from sort of northern BC to Vancouver when he was pretty young to pursue music. And then he had my sister and I and kind of got a real job and started, but as I grew up, I was so involved in like the classic rock sort of music just because my dad was a drummer and was always in bands and stuff. So, when I was like 7, I picked up a guitar for the first time. And what kind of sparked my first like band experience and like writing music, a few of my friends also played different instruments. Like my one friend played drums, kind of, not really, but kind of. And then another one played keyboard and I played guitar. And then we made our other best friend sing for us.
You made him sing for you?
Yeah. There's nobody else here, man. Like you're the singer. So so I was like 7 or 8 when we started playing together, and my elementary school was going to close, and we got word of that at the beginning of the year. And we were like 8, and so we loved our elementary school. We thought it was like the best time of our lives, right?
Yeah.
And so we got word that they were closing, and we were like, let's write a song about our school so they don't close the school.
Okay.
And then we convinced the school board to let us come and play the song at the meeting, like to see whether or not they were going to close the school.
Yeah.
And they never closed the school. Like we played the song, they didn't close the school.
Oh, that's
so we take
cool.
100% of the credit for that.
Yeah. I would too if I were you.
Yeah. That's kind of, and since then, I stopped playing guitar. And then I started, but since then I've always been writing music, and the band doesn't play together anymore, but that was kind of my beginnings in music.
So now we fast forward to today, you're now a solo artist, you recently come out with an EP, I guess last year, November of last year, right? You came out with Supernova. So can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration and story behind this recent EP you've released?
This is the first sort of project. I've worked on like 2 full-length LPs that aren't really accessible on the internet anymore. I have like CDs and stuff, but since I started writing music, the process of recording has been very different for me. So I've done it where, I've just written acoustic songs and I've had some of my friends come and play on them sort of thing, in the studio. But this one was, I started producing, and I produced all the demos myself.
Okay.
And I was in talks with Howard Redicott, the owner of How Weird Sounds, and one thing led to another, and he got some of the productions, and he just decided that he wanted to be involved. So we kind of started going back and forth and stuff, and that's kind of how the inspiration of the music started probably like 2 or 3 years ago or something, like actually writing the music. But producing it happened pretty quick because I started producing and I loved it so much. Like I'd never produced until I did this EP. That's kind of like the process of it. Like I did all these demos by myself, and then I came to Howard and Stefan, who works for Howard, and we kind of like made it like what it is now. We built it up together. So that's kind of like the experience of making this, and the inspiration behind it was definitely like that spark of producing for the first time. So that's what I hear in all those songs when I listen to them now.
Very cool. So when did you start producing? How long ago was that? That was just last year, or was this previous?
Oh, I guess that was like 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah. And that's very I feel like getting into producing is like so important now as a musician, especially with like the climate we live in of like being able to do so much yourself. Like, so good on you for getting in that. And like musicians at home, get your producing chops up, I would say. Like it's very important, especially to record your own demos. Right?
Like, and it's like before, the way that I'd write music is completely different from how I do it now, right? Like I would write an acoustic song and then maybe build it up somehow through playing live with my friends sort of thing.
Yeah.
But now the way I come at it is a completely different angle. Because I come at it from a producer standpoint instead of a songwriter standpoint. You know, the songwriting has always been super, you know, important to me.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of kept the same style, which is sort of like a delicate folk sort of songwriting style that then kind of gets like polished into a like alt pop sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think it kind of changed the way that I write music completely.
Yeah, it's very cool that in the box writing sort of thing, and especially with like the pandemic now. Like me with my band Royal Oak, we've been doing kind of the same thing where it's like, okay, we would first get into our jam space, just have someone come with an idea, we would just jam together. But now that we can't really see each other as much because there's 4 of us, the lead singer Austin, he just pulls up a Pro Tools session and it's all like in the box, and you kind of build it up from scratch, and then it's like backwards. So now we have to learn the parts that we like created.
Yeah.
So it's
that's
very
the
interesting.
Fun part.
It's kind of exactly that's the fun part. So it's very interesting. So I can definitely relate to what you're saying.
Right.
So one thing I also wanted to touch on with you is you kind of brought up, you know, working with Howard and working with other musicians and your friends and stuff. How important was it to have like kind of a creative team behind you in the process of releasing this EP?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned that I was super hands-on with like the writing and productions and stuff, and like with music and anything in art that I do, like I find myself not being the diva or drama queen, but definitely being like, I don't think that's right. I think we should do it like this or whatever. I have my hands in everything. But like having those people that can execute things with you, and even just having the support. Like if I have like one idea that I'm not sure about, but I have like my guitar friend in the back and he's like, that's super cool. Let's run with that. I have this idea I can put over top of it. You know, collaboration is kind of what makes music great. You know,
of course.
If everybody was a solo artist and didn't involve other people in their music, there'd be so many bad songs and so many good things that we didn't get because collaboration is so beautiful. So like, just collaborating and even moral support. I think it's very important to my process, at least.
Definitely. Cool. That's awesome. So thanks for giving us kind of a look into your world. That's very cool. I love hearing about the process behind, you know, writing Supernova and stuff. So before we kind of end here, what's one piece of advice you would give to musicians, like kind of in this climate we find ourselves in?
Right. I think I'd probably just keep it simple and like don't second guess yourself. I think like I have probably like 5 times the songs unfinished than I do songs that are finished. And like maybe there's like some gold in there, you know, that I just gave up on. So whether you're talking about like, you know, taking a risk and performing for the first time, or whether you're talking about like fully fleshing out an idea that you had last week that you just gave up on because you got bored and played video games or something. Like just give it a chance, you know, don't give up on it. And, you know, eventually it'll pay off. And there's a lot of things that I've just stuck with that have been kind of painful to stick with because sometimes it's hard to finish things. You know, finishing like anxiety is a thing for me. Like I have a fear of finishing projects sometimes because I don't think it's going to live up to what I have in my head. But like you just have to do it. And,
I mean,
you just have to do it.
We do have a limited time on Earth, right? So if you're not going to do it now, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Exactly.
You got to do it.
Totally.
So that's awesome. Thank you, Quinn. That's great advice. So where can people listen to your music and find you either on like a website or social media?
I'm on everything. Quinn.Pickering on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and stuff. I'm on Spotify, I'm on Apple Music, you know, Amazon Music, all that stuff.
Perfect. Sounds good. And we'll have all that linked below under the video in the description. And thank you so much. Thank you, Quinn. We're going to get you to play a song for us now. And thank you so much for watching another episode of the Music City Surrey Showcase. We will see you on the next one.
This is an original song called Thieves. Don't you ever stop talking, ramble on that long. I couldn't see me falling till I was too far gone. If it's all a mistake, just speak up now. Don't make me wait to get let down. So we'll go against your dad, go against your mom, get married in the unknown sun, take your mom's old caravan and drive through dawn. Keep going now, the chase is on, couple thieves long gone. A couple thieves long gone. Maybe they're right, maybe we're no good. I don't wanna let you go, baby, maybe I should. A habit I should break in a tight white dress, so a beautiful mistake's gonna hurt no less. Oh, I could be the trouble you've been waiting for, harrowed summer's dream. So we'll go against your dad and go against your mom, get married in the unknown sun, take your mom's old caravan and drive through dawn. Keep going now, the chase is on, couple thieves long gone. A couple